Look at this. Look at this cutie. Just goofing around.
What the hell? Titus was trying to reenact that scene from Spider-Man.
Yeah. But he's never kissed anyone, so he just couldn't do it.
He forgot how to kiss people.
He couldn't land it.
He was really resisting the urge to scope walk his butt. Oh.
I did relate to that because it's like basically showing what a pervert all guys are.
That's sexist. Hi. And he looks at her pussy.
He's like, that's where it is.
I found it.
She shoves him off. That's a really unrealistic jump. That looked like the Mario jump where he just puts his hands in the air and then just, like, accelerates.
What's going on here? Syrian refugees?
Oh, yeah. They were, they had a really, like, conscious political writer who, like, foresaw the Syrian refugee movement and decided to work it into the script.
Walk is like a surfer above the waist and like a deep-sea fisherman below the waist.
What is he from his left arm to the... on?
Anime.
Yeah.
A clown.
Furniture.
Clown furniture. Is there anything special in here?
Some clown furniture.
Clown furniture is always special. I remember it from my childhood. Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait. You want to use the binoculars? Yes. What did I... Oh!
That's a little joke.
Why would I get the option?
I don't know. It just... I think it's interesting how if you get an option, you feel like the dialogue should be meaningful. I feel like if games just gave you options for dialogue that weren't meaningful regularly, we wouldn't think that way. Sometimes I've seen that in some RPGs though.
What?
Where they have dialogue options, but it's just for like different dialogue that leads to no meaningful change in the gameplay. But there's still that option.
If you interfere with Yuna's...
That's all she says? Oh.
I don't know who you are or where you came from. I remember how she says that.
I know where I'm going to come.
We'll get her to kill.
In your anus.
She does have a name, you know.
Well then.
Gay boy. Man, I missed that old commentary that we did. Never gonna let that go. Never gonna give it up. Never gonna let it down.
Yeah.
This is Final Fantasy VII 2007 memes edition. This isn't Final Fantasy VII.
This is Final Fantasy VII Slime Edition.
This is Slimer. Slimer Fantasy.
It sucks to be playing a game where the protagonist and the most important character is only featured in like a couple random battles.
What? Oh, yeah. What the heck is going on with his facial expressions?
They didn't animate anything, they just had his face move there. He looked like such a faggot though, with the earrings and like him just making that stupid face.
Player, aren't you? From Xanarkin, right?
You hear that from Waka?
You're a Blitzball player.
I love Blitzball.
Blitzball?
Waka's
Blitzball?
not at all.
Yeah, I'm a Blitzball. I mean,
She's like, you're a Blitzball. Yes, I'm a Blitzball.
yeah, I'm a Blitzball. How did you know?
Heard in Xanarkin.
I was going to
There's
say
a great
Blitzball
stadium.
player. Yeah, I'm a player
All lit
too.
up, even at night.
Star Blitzball of the
Great
Xanark and
tournaments
Blitzballs.
are held there, and the stands are always full.
How
Ball?
do you know that?
A man named Jack told me.
How do you know
My
that?
father's guardian.
Where are they?
Checked.
Oh my god. The revelation.
My father.
Final Fantasy
His name
X
is
Revelations.
Amazing!
Jecht is your father, and your mother is Slimer.
You know, our meeting
Final
like
Fantasy
this
X
must be
Interjections.
Hey, you better nail the
Sounds like
Jecht
him,
shot,
but
that's all I
it
gotta
can't
say.
be him.
It's coming up.
Why not?
I don't want to do any Blitzball. Is there a way to avoid Blitzball completely?
He died.
No, you have to
10
play
years
that one
ago,
game.
Off the coast of Xanarkin.
I don't know why, like, starting with Final Fantasy VIII,
He went out to sea.
they decided every single Final Fantasy needs to have a really crappy
And no one's
mini
seen him
game,
since then.
like the cards, and then I think it was cards again,
Why, that's the
and then now it's Blitzball.
Yeah.
I don't remember
um,
what was. Well, I never played 11, and I don't think I don't remember anything in 12.
I don't remember anything in 12.
I think actually they abandoned it as of this game.
In 12, there was the guards, like sneaking by guards, I guess. But that's, I wouldn't say that's the same situation.
How would he get here?
How
But
old
yeah,
do you
you're
know
right.
12?
I almost beat 12 like several times. It just gets so boring at the end.
I think it's pretty boring at the beginning for me.
For me, it's still an RPG. The beginning is usually the most exciting part, anyways, because of the way they do progression. So, I don't mind the beginning of that game. Although, yeah, I do see what you're saying, but I'm still excited to play the game at that point. Look at how stupid they, like, again, they just chose not to animate the models. They chose to make the models move, but just not animate them at all. These still look nice, though. I still think these look nice.
Yeah, the animated cutscenes, the pre-rendered stuff looks pretty good.
As before, like, this was one of the first games that I played that had that. So I was actually really off-put when it did that. I was bothered by how different they looked in the
Yeah,
pre-rendered CGI cutscenes.
I've always played games with those. Like, 40 Winks has them. I guess I can't think of anything else from PlayStation right now that has that.
Stick a harpoon in him and we'll
But I have always played games with that in them.
I forgot that Yuna had heterochromia.
Forgive
Yeah.
us, Lady Summoner.
She's
Because-
heteronormative.
Yeah. She's cis.
Oh boy.
You're a sis. Oh boy.
Right as I was about to say, like, they made Sin look cool, this shot is just like a giant picture of his fin on the ocean.
Sin's fin.
Just a big cardboard Sin going back and forth.
So why
Nailed
why
the
did they
special
decide
effects.
to harpoon this hell beast?
I guess that's their, like, self-defense for some reason. They're that delusional.
How stupid can you get?
Or maybe they were like, if it's on its way to Kilika, we should hitch a ride.
It might tear apart the ship, though.
I think it definitely would. But they're protected by the plot, so of course there's no real danger.
There's always real danger. What if one time something bad actually did happen?
Then it just wouldn't happen.
Wouldn't that be weird, though, if you were actually, like, reading or watching or playing something that you've done, like, a million times before, and suddenly it just changed dramatically and became
That'd be
something
cool.
completely different?
I think that's what we all wish video games could do, is just be that dynamic.
The way, like, they try to do that with, like, No Man's Sky, it just really sucks.
Yeah. You have to provide a system that allows for there to be dynamic differences, but I've never seen a good system that actually, like, makes the changes they use to, like, supplement the fact that they can't actually produce meaningful, endless content. They always need something to generate meaningful changes, and I've never seen something that, like, can cause dynamic changes as much as, like, this went way different than before. It's always like, oh, it looks different, or this was slightly different. It's never like, I'm not even really playing the same sort of game now because of how different it's become.
The only game that, like, is never the same twice, well, the only one that I can think of, the only kind that I can think of right now is things like Minecraft. You know, but that doesn't have a story and doesn't really even have goals.
I feel like all video games are limited. I don't feel like there's a lot more room for progress as far as graphics and what you can do with the hardware, unless some of the newer consoles just have, like, incredible hardware, like better than PCs. I just don't see there being those sort of games. Like, I think the biggest sort of changes in video games came from the graphical updates from, like, 2D to 3D, and then from, like, Nintendo 64 to, like, PlayStation 3.
Yeah. I think they've reached the limit of, like, how good a game can look for a while.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it'll take quite a while before, like, advancements start to mean anything again.
Right. Well, it's all about polish now for some reason. Like, it's not about innovation. It's all about, like, every AAA title has to have HD graphics for some fucking reason.
Yeah, and it takes a lot more money and time to make, and so they end up, like, completely screwing the consumer.
Every time there's been a graphical overhaul or upgrade for, like, the new generation of games, it always limits what the games can actually have in them, making every hardware upgrade always for the graphics rather than for the potential that, like, of video games in general.
Yeah, and, like, it defeats the entire purpose of what a game is.
So we have better looking games now, but they don't always do new and cool things.
Like, games are supposed to be fun, not supposed to look good. If they look good, that's a bonus, and it's cool, but it's fleeting because, like, in 10 years, it won't look good anymore. Unless you do something like they do with Yoshi's Island, where they, like, just future-proof it by giving it, like, a distinctive style that, like, it doesn't, like, the graphics don't really speak to, like, how good it looks.
Yeah, like cell shading.
Yeah.
Everyone always uses Wind Waker as an example.
Wind Waker is another
For that.
similar example, but I think you can already see the age in that game.
I think it. I don't really see it as much. I would say it's a good example. Like the HD Wind Waker was, I think, is a worse version of the game, and I think that speaks volumes.
Have you played the HD version?
I've seen it played.
Why do you think it's worse?
I'm trying to remember my reasons. I know they fucked with stuff that I liked. I can't remember. I think they made it easier or something like that, and took out parts that I liked.
They made the sailing faster, but that's a good thing.
They made the sailing faster. They took out the tingle tuner, which was actually something I liked about the game.
Yeah, that bothered me too.
And they put in a bunch of gay shit with, like, selfies and...
yeah, you can take little pictures of Link.
Yeah, and, like, basically Twitter. They put Twitter in the mechanics of sailing to have, like, notes and stuff. And
oh, yeah,
also,
that sucked.
I know, I don't know. If they fucked with the music as well, then that's also I think they did fuck with the music though.
I didn't really notice. I've been playing that game since I was like 9, and I didn't really notice any changes to the music.
I don't know. I don't see a point to play it over the old one, which still works fine and has all those things.
It just takes a little bit
Because-
longer to get out the GameCube than the Wii U is already out, at least for me.
Your weenus is always out for me.
Yeah, my Wii U is always out for the ladies. I hate when Final Fantasy games do that, where it's not clear where, like, the cursor will go when you move.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like the way it's aligned, you have no idea which button you press on the D-pad, like where it's gonna go next. The cursor. This has been a long battle.
It has, yeah. Is there anything I could do that would hurry this up?
No, I think you just have to keep. Yeah, you're doing the right thing, Lancet, and using Waka's attack.
The dark attack doesn't do any different damage, so I'm just using
Well,
a
you
normal attack.
You might blind his fin.
Well, I mean, like, if I use dark attack, it says
It's
immune.
It's gonna waste your MP.
But it killed
Like
him
it really
anyway, I
matters.
think. Yep,
Yeah.
it did.